Hello, my name is James and welcome to Mirror Domains. And this is a review for The Queen's Gambit. The Queen's Gambit is a Netflix series that debuted on, Netflix October 23rd, 2020. Yes, the Queen's Gambit release date was October 23rd, which was a Friday. And it's a 7-episode series. And I thought it was a movie at first, but now once I clicked on it, it was like, whoa, it's a series. Okay, well, it stars Anya Taylor-Joy, and I'm a huge fan of hers. So if you are an Anya Taylor-Joy fan, straight up, guys, you're going to watch this series and you're going to love it because you get to see her do a range of stuff. It's very interesting because she does a lot of deadpan stuff, but there are a few moments in this where she really opens up and shows you her range, and that's cool, man. So what is it about? Basically, I'll give you the quick synopsis. An 8-year-old orphan, Beth Harmon, is orphaned by her mother dying in a car accident, and then she learns to play chess by this guy, this custodian in the basement, played by Bill Camp, who's fantastic in this. Subtle performance, but very effective. And if you are a chess fan, then you'll recognize some of the moves they're doing right up off the bat. He beats her right in the first match they play, and it's a fairly common thing. I'm somewhat of a chess player myself. I'm not that good. I'm a 1300 ranked player on a good day. I could be up to 1400. On a bad day, I'm down in the 1200s. But you know what? That's over 11,000 matches. So, I'm about as good as I could be without actually having to learn openings and maneuvers and stuff like that without reading about them and learning about them. That's about as good as I could be, which obviously people in this series are not. They go in and actually do read how to play the game and stuff like that. So it's all about her and how she kind of comes out of a life of ruin and develops something for herself, but she's got some baggage that she carries along the way. So I'm just going to quickly share with you guys some things that, some clips that I filmed right after I watched it, and then we'll wrap things up at the end with the way things are. So I didn't record one for the first episode. That's why I wanted to have a little bit of a lengthy one here, but then we'll go into these small little clips. This is a very raw review, and I apologize for that, but that's just the way it's going to be for this. So the first episode of the Queen's Gambit was kind of weird. It was younger. She's a younger girl that goes to this orphanage and gets addicted to these pills, which was kind of like, well, yeah, that's strange. Now I'm in the second episode, Exchanges. She's at her first tournament, and I'm actually kind of excited for her. I want to see her win, and I want to see her have success in this field. But then she's still dealing with some of those addictions with her mother, or her stepmother's, or adopted mother's prescriptions. So we'll see how that goes. I'm really more interested in watching her play because I can recognize some of the moves that they're doing and stuff like that. Some of the openings, like I'm a chess player myself, not anywhere near as good as these players were, but it's interesting. And Anya Taylor-Joy is just wow. Third episode, doubled pawns. I'm really enjoying the relationship building between the mother and Beth. You think that they would be building towards them being enemies, right? Like when she finds out that she's been taking the prescriptions. But I like the fact that she wanted 10% of the winnings, and then she offered 15%. So I like that. I like this relationship that's building up between them. So far, so good. So we just ended the third episode, and I like the ending a lot. She just lost her big match against Benny, and Benny was able to kind of like outthink her on some moves that really got under her skin, and then she was leaving with her mother, and she took the mother's hand, even though they had that little spat. I like that relationship, as I said. That's really growing a lot on me. I like it a lot. Towns is obviously gay, so that's kind of weird how she was kind of liking him but can't like him. But then he comes out to the car at the end and says goodbye to her, and she's like, yeah, whatever. And then that's when she takes the mother's hand. So I kind of like this episode, and we'll have to continue on here. My favorite part was the scene where she's like signing papers to everybody, like autographs. And there's that one kid that's kind of like, and we started a chess club. It was just the way he said it. It was good casting. And I like that a little bit.
We started the chess club.
Into the male-dominated world of the nation's top chess tournaments.
That helped build a little bit of the ambiance. And I like that scene. So, three episodes in, let's get on to the fourth one. Episode 4. I'm really enjoying the rapport that she's building up with Matt and Mike. This kind of like their friendship, and then there's like this casualness to it all when she's talking about her mother and this guy that she met in Mexico. I like that. And then I just saw the part where she's having this match with this young Russian guy, and they weren't showing the moves on the board, but they were showing the kind of like the reactions of the moves, and I felt like that was very creative, and we'll have to see where this episode ends. So the mother just died, and actually I didn't think that was going to happen. If it did, I felt like maybe it would happen towards like the final episode or something like that, but she just became so detached after the guy left her in Mexico. They're suggesting that she drank herself to death or took pills or something like that. I'm not too sure. But it's kind of interesting how her character, Beth, didn't really show a whole lot of emotion after that. And I've kind of noticed that throughout the series, that she hasn't really had a big outburst of emotion. It's always been kind of like an emotionless, deadpan kind of thing. And I guess that goes to her damaged psyche as it is. But the delivery from Anya Taylor-Joy has been fairly good. We saw a little bit of a tear, though, at the end there with the plane, when she was drinking the gimlet or whatever, right? Pretending that her mother was there. There was a tear on her cheek, but that's about the extent of sorrow. I thought we would see a little bit more because of the relationship that they had. So, we'll have to see how that goes in episode 5. So, Fork had this weird side story with Harry where he came to help her train and such, and they kind of revealed that he had this thing for her, but it didn't really go anywhere. He tried to tell her, and then once he realized that she was so involved with chess that he couldn't really help her, he went away. It was kind of an interesting side story, and how he decided that he didn't want to devote so much of his life to chess while she is going to. And it was interesting. I thought that was going to be like the entire episode, and now we're only halfway through episode 5, so let's see how the rest of it plays out. But the guy who plays Harry, he did a good job. So there you go. She just beat Benny, and they didn't show the match, but they showed the aftermath, and now she's agreeing to go to New York and train with him. And I like the dynamic between them because they're both chess wizards and nerds, and they're fully enveloped in that world. That's all they think about, so they can relate that way. That's awesome. I like that. I wish people in life could find somebody else like that for each other. Like if you were passionate about something, you could find somebody else who's very passionate about that same thing, and that would be awesome if that happened for more people. I just see too many people just like they're opposites, but they're together because that's just the way it is, and they don't have a shared passion, and that's what these two have. But they're not romantic. It's interesting because at the end he says, "Oh, and by the way, no sex." It's just weird because he always likes to wear, Benny likes to have that machismo, right? He's wearing the hat and the leather trench coat and the knife. I don't know what's up with that. That's weird. But Yeah, interesting development. It wasn't my favorite episode, but I liked how it's developing things, and we're building towards an end now. So episode 6 was kind of a bummer. I didn't really like that episode. She goes off the deep end again and starts with the drugs and the alcohol, and it was just kind of like, did we really need to take a whole episode to go back and establish that again? And then it was Jolene that showed up at the end again, and okay, well, I'm guessing that she's going to probably face the Russian guy one more time, and then the series will wrap. She'll beat it, right? I don't know. Guys, it's 2:30 in the middle of the night right now, so I'm going to finish watching this episode and record the rest of this tomorrow morning. So now finishing episode 7. This whole series, The Queen's Gambit, was directed by Scott Frank. He also helped write this. And if you don't know who he was, he wrote Logan and stuff like that. So I don't know why that would be relevant for you guys. You're not looking for that. You're not, so I'm not going to dwell on that. But it's well constructed. The series. There were maybe 1 or 2 episodes that they could have made this 6. They should have made this 6. I can understand, okay, but if we put in this, then it extends a little bit too long for 1 episode. But for me, I was watching it because I'm an Anya Taylor-Joy fan. So if you're like that, like I was, then you're going to love the ending. The ending is really cool. It pays off in a way that you're just like, yeah, I like that. And then the way that she respects the game at the end. There's some really cool payoffs. Some things get left a little up in the air, like what happened with her glug glug kind of thing. But overall, I would say that this is a good series, and I would totally recommend you guys go and watch it. It's kind of weird, though, watching these young girls take the pills. That could rub people a little bit the wrong way, but it goes over a broad period of time where Anya Taylor-Joy is supposed to be a young like teenager. And okay, you don't really 100% buy that because she's obviously developed into a woman by now. But they play that, and they play it okay, it works. You just kind of gloss over that anyway. But Anya Taylor-Joy in this, some of the costuming in this is great because she's somebody that you look at her and the camera loves her. And what do I mean by that? You're just kind of like, whoa, who's that? Who is that? That's the kind of reaction you get when she's on screen in some of these costumes. You're just kind of like, yeah, I want to know who that is. Which speaks to why guys would like her. Maybe some girls too, but I mean, it's just, there's that there. And speaking about that, this deals with her developing as a human female with biological needs. They deal with that stuff. So I like how all of that stuff was handled. It's kind of cheeky at times. But then I like the relationships that she goes through. She's kind of like, I don't like this guy, I don't like that guy, and whatever. That's not really the main point. It's just her and her ability to play chess. And I like how sweaty it gets at times. I really gravitated towards that. Like, for me, I'm a YouTuber, so I really invest in learning how the YouTube game works. And that's precisely that. The things that they're doing, like when they're studying games, well, that's what I do at night when I'm in my free time. I'm on YouTube trying to learn how can I do the algorithm. What's the best thing to do for this? How should I put my titles like that? That's the kind of sweaty, nerdy kind of thing that chess gets gravitated towards. You do get big chunks of that in this, but there's some drama going in the background with the mothers, her stepmother, and then her actual real life mother, that was kind of an eccentric. You kind of get the impression that yes, her mother was a genius, so that's where she gets her mind capabilities. But they also touch on, well, if you're so smart, then you also must be a little bit crazy, and they kind of deal with that. But overall, guys, I think this is a very, very easy watch. I watched this in the matter of one night, and it's 7 episodes. So it goes like that, and there are some really, really good payoffs with the cast. The Queen's Gambit cast is fairly solid. As I said, Anya Taylor-Joy, Bill Camp, Mr. Seidel, he does fairly good. Then there's the mother, who was it, Dolores? Carabon, I can't remember. But anyway, there's just a cast around her that helps fill things out with there's a man, my twins sort of like characters. They were cool. Towns is her romantic, like she likes Towns, but then we find out something about Towns that, well, that's a little bit different. And then, of course, it all builds towards these chess tournaments against the Russians. And the girl who plays Jolene, another orphan that helps her deal with that whole orphanage scenario, comes back later on, and that's cool. And the younger girl in the first episode who plays the young Beth, she did a fantastic job, even though there wasn't a whole lot to do. They were just going for that deadpan stuff. It was very effective, and her relationship with the custodian, Bill Camp, is that's good stuff. Overall, guys, I would say Queen's Gambit on Netflix. Check it out if you got some time, because I think once you watch a couple episodes, you'll just want to watch it all just like that. And that's what the binging game for Netflix is all about. So let me know what you thought about it in the comments below. The Queen's Gambit.